Good morning, everyone. So I'm Sri Devi, and I warmly welcome you all, the dignitaries, to the third day of the FDP organized by Mallareddy College of Pharmacy in association with ACTI branch, Telangana branch. So the first 2 days of this FDP have been provided with valuable insights, stimulating discussions, and opportunities to learn from the expert time. As we begin day three session, I request our principal, Dr. N. Sudhakar sir, to address the gathering.
I welcome you all, sir.
Going to be very useful. Is it audible, whatever I said earlier?
No, it's not. We missed, sir. We missed the initial
Okay,
words.
okay, okay. Once again, I welcome you all. I welcome you all for this session. It's going to be very useful, completely about the artificial intelligence and machine learning. And present day, it requires this type of information for all the faculty so that you can guide the students in an appropriate manner. When you are going to the classroom, we should have some knowledge about this AI also. Not only pharmacy knowledge, we need this information now. So let us update ourselves, and so that it will be useful for all the faculty. And once you are good, we can train the students in a proper manner. So all of you listen this carefully, and it's going to be useful for us all these 4 years B Pharmacy new syllabus. It's going to be so many points added in this new syllabus like Python, AI, ML, data analytics and all, and clinical pharmacy, AI applications. All these things are there. So to understand all those things, we should have knowledge about the AI and all. So for that, I request all the participants to listen carefully the session, and if you have any doubts, you can ask the questions. You can ask the questions in the comment box, or in the end also you can ask the questions. Right? Of course, it is only in the comment box only. So once again, I welcome Rajendra Prasad garu for this session. Thank you very much.
So it gives me an immense pleasure to introduce our resource person, Dr. VVS Rajendra Prasad sir. Sir is a distinguished professor and dean of research at Vishnu Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Hyderabad, with over 21 years of experience in teaching, research, and academic leadership. He holds a PhD in pharmaceutical chemistry from RGUHS and has undertaken postdoctoral research at VU University Medical Center, Amsterdam, with international research experience at Baylor College of Medicine, Houston, USA. His major research interests include medicinal chemistry, anti-cancer drug, multi-drug resistance, computational drug design, molecular modeling, cancer biology, nanotechnology, and targeted drug delivery systems. He has successfully guided 9 PhD scholars and 55 MPharm projects and has 6 granted patents with several additional patent publications. Dr. Rajendra Prasad has received competitive research funding from prestigious national agencies including ICMR, DST, DBT, CERT, AICTE, and MSME, including major collaborations research initiatives with IISc and IIT Hyderabad. He has published 27 research publications in reputed national and international journals. He has presented his research at several national and international forums, including conferences in USA and Europe, and received CIPRA Innovation Award too. Now, I would like to hand over the session to Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sudhakar garu, for inviting me and made me involved in this the prestigious conference. It's order of the day, the topic, especially for the the professionals in the pharmaceutical industry. And I would like to thank all the faculty members for a nice introduction. And today, just I'm giving some glimpses of AI and ML in pharmaceutical industry. Just I like to share my experiences because I am working with some of the tech industries as a domain, the person with the domain knowledge. and we are working with some beta versions of some tools. It's called as the liquid foundation models from the Cliffide. It's MIT platform, MIT Boston platform. So they are coming with the new kind of the program, liquid foundation models, especially for the pharma industry. So we are working collaboratively with that as a domain expert from the pharma industry, for the pharmaceutical sciences. We are giving some inputs from our side, and with little bit knowledge and little bit exposure. So just I made it a presentation of the brief presentation, the way we can do involve, and what actually the role of any pharmaceutical the person who is having some BTech qualification or the B.Pharm qualification or the M.Pharm qualification with our domain knowledge, where we can do, how we can do collaboratively work with the professionals in the AI and ML fields. So with that, just I will focus on some of the fundamentals, applications, tools, and emerging opportunities with some examples in the real-time case studies. So I think the screen visible, and now it's just I will make it some what is now we are focusing on today's session, like what kind of topics I'm going to cover today. So it starts from like the fundamentals of AI and machine learning, which maybe everyone knows these days, like because there is a saying like there are two kind of people nowadays. One is who knows AI, and the other second kind of people who knows AI and can also knows the effective utilization of the AI. So means everyone should know AI irrespective of their qualification and the fields. So there is no alternative. Everyone should use the AI for every applications. So in that perspective, I hope everyone knows the fundamentals and core background of the AI and ML things. So now how this works, ML works, machine learning works, especially for the pharmaceutical or health sciences fields, and what kind of vocabulary and AI and ML essential terms we do here everywhere, and applications in pharma and healthcare industry, where we can do apply our skills and domain expertise in the by collaboratively working with AI scientists in the area of drug discovery, or maybe the clinical care or manufacturing process, or maybe the regulatory affairs, you name it, some of the examples. And the next one is foundation skills to build. What kind of foundation skills we build if you are going to the deeper understanding and deeper core platforms. So just you need to build, it starts from the fundamentals of the mathematics, where we do build our these skills and programming basics. We need to learn some programming basics to work effectively with the teams of AI expertise, and then learning path and careers. So how can we make it the roadmap, the roles in one of the emerging field in every field. Of course, it is one of the field is the pharmaceutical industry. And next one is the challenges in the pharmaceutical sciences. What are the challenges? Because as everyone knows that, and everyone is, I hope, all are the background of pharmaceutical sciences. As we know that pharmaceutical industry is a highly regulated industry. It is regulated by the different agencies based upon the country where we are deploying the drugs or the formulations you want to sell or manufacture, because it's a highly regulated industry. So that the AI, they have the limitations for the utilization of these kind of applications here. It starts from the new drug development to the clinical aspects and regulatory things. Next one is the fundamentals in pharmaceutical industry. What are the fundamentals we required, and what are the background we required to work with in the area of the pharmaceutical sciences. And then, of course, the fundamentally drug discovery and drug design parts. Already we are using drug design. We are using some kind of models It is called as a computer-aided drug design. We are using softwares for the computer-aided drug design, but majorly focusing on dynamic aspects. We do design the molecules by taking the libraries of the molecules and taking the target as a protein from the protein data bank and making starts with the docking, and then to the QSR studies and the visual screening. As already we are following this process last 40 years as a computer drug design. We have well-defined softwares for this purpose. But now this AI and ML is completely redefining the drug design platforms, and majorly it is adding pharmacokinetic aspects with existing dynamic aspects we can do, because the kinetic aspects are very very dynamic, and also it's we require the deeper knowledge for understanding the distribution and expression of these the fundamental molecules. For this, the data, the available data from the clinical trials aspects, the available data from the US FDA, or available data at the pharma industry who are involving in the development of the new chemical entities. So this data will be utilized to work or to train the AI to understand that pharmacodynamic aspects as well as the pharmacokinetic aspects to reduce the drug discovery process timelines, and also to enhance the like the success rate in the drug discovery process, and also to reduce the cost cutting, because the pharma industry is spending a lot of money, required to spend a lot of money. That's why the Indian pharma industry is not involved directly involving in the drug development process, because there is a lot of risk factors involving in these aspects. So maybe I hope this area AI and ML will give some the clues, or some of the aspects will give some shortcuts to get some better results within a defined time and within defined budget lines. So then, of course, next one is the clinical trials. So this is one of the aspect. Now every pharma industry is working, involving the AI personnel or the AI tools in these aspects of clinical trials, and the manufacturing and beyond. As we know that the manufacturing now, some of the industry in USA now, there is a like how they even we don't require then to switch on the lights in the daytime in the manufacturing unit. Means we don't require a single human in the manufacturing unit. Everything is taken care by the robotics and automation. So that is a kind of way, that is a kind of changes are coming in the manufacturing industry because of the automation, and machines are learning, and machines are even smarter than the people or the humans. So that is why, like entire, if you take one unit of a manufacturing unit, we don't require to the presence of even one single human. So, but even all the machines will work perfectly. All the products will come with the expected grades or expected outcomes without deviating any kind of thing. This is how it's going on in the, or it's replacing the manufacturing process, and deploying these AI and tools in the manufacturing industry of the, or especially in the pharma industry. And next one is the tools and the career and outlook. How we can, what is opportunities here? Where we can fit, and what is our challenges here now? And to involve or to enter this field, what is the pros and cons from the pharmaceutical person? So how to fit or to work with the AI person, or the team who are having the domain expert knowledge in AI and ML. So this is just, everyone knows, like just the fundamental introduction to the AI. So like it's like we can do the predictive and generative and agentic AI. So the predictive one, it can forecast the future outcomes using the past data. It requires large quantities of the data. So in the pharma industry, the large quantities of data is creating, it is from the resources, and even from the resources from the US FDA, because US FDA is they have handled so many molecules in the clinical trials and the drug development process. in terms of pharmacokinetic and dynamic aspects. So this data will be utilized to predict the outcomes, and the generative AI creates a new content from the prompts. And the agentic AI it will things like human and even beyond human autonomously plans and execute the multi-step workflow. And now these are the three the majorly classifying and like we can utilize this, can apply in even the pharma industry. So here the kind how the prompts we are giving is in voice assistance, understanding and respond to spoken languages is a LLMs, large language models. Now in the emerging tool in pharmaceutical industry, and I'm working with Cliff8. Cliff8 is one of the company. It is previously associated with Liquid AI. So both are MIT Boston platforms, and these are liquid foundation models, alternative for the LLM models. Liquid foundation models are a little bit compressed models. We don't require the large quantity of the data. And here, these liquid foundation models is going to deal the pharmaceutical and health sciences in a different way. And we do not require any kind of AI chips, the hardware, what the semiconductor materials actually required for the AI. We do not we can sacrifice in that area for the liquid foundation models, because it's one of the toughest part is now just getting the hardware for the AI chips, and the expenses of the AI chips is one of the toughest part here. So these liquid foundation models is going to address this problem, and these liquid foundation models will run with the edge devices, simply with your computer, general whatever computer we are using, the CPU, we will run, understand the liquid foundation model, or even the edge devices like our smartphone. We can run the models in the software, the smartphones. So these are the changes now, the emerging new models coming into the picture. And then is the image recognitions, identifying the objects, cells, and scan pictures. So here also I will explain my case study here. So we are using the image processing cameras, high resolution image processing cameras to detect or to early detection of the oral cancer and some of the oral diseases with our institution, Vishnu Dental College and Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. So we are generating large quantities of the high resolution images, and we are training the model so that if you give the oral pictures to that model, so that will identify what are the diseases, the way maybe especially for the oral cancer. So it will work, it will give the it will work as a complementary to as a dentist. So it will give you some information, and it will give some add-on knowledge to the dentist to understand in the diagnosis process is by the process of the image recognitions. And next one is the recommendation system, like it suggests the relevant content and products. Now in India, if you even in India also, like every pharma industry is now integrating their entire process with the AI. You name it, any pharma industry already are there in the job. Everyone is working with the AI and ML models and integrating with at their end, because now still it is redefining and again the revising with the novel technologies. So the recommendation system, just like we can say it is, for example, regulatory affairs, regulatory things, regulatory documentation. So whatever the humans or the regulatory or a person preparing the documentation, so the AI or the automation system will verify everything by line and data by data, and will give that recommendations where usually the predictive mistakes or predictive things, what kind of the questionnaire maybe is tomorrow the regulatory person will raise the question during their visit. So these are based upon the previous questions by raising the regulatory agencies, and the AI will understand these are the kind of questions worldwide the regulatory agencies are raising in these aspects of regulatory documentation. So they will predict these things and recommend to the user. So these are the things we need to refine the data in this area, or we need to add some more the content or the relevant content or the supporting data in this area, because based upon the previous experiences. And then there's a chatbots like the holding nature, human-like conversation. So we can do like asking the intelligence system is continuously, wherever you got some kind of support, it continuously you can chat with AI and you can take help from that in the real time. So these are the things. So like it's somewhat background of this AI, especially in the pharmaceutical and health sciences in the hospitals. So now this is just things AI and ML deep learning process. So I think almost everyone knows this idea of the entire the process prospectus of these three things of AI and ML, and the ML is a multi-layered network and powerful for the images, text, and complex signals for the in the deep learning process. So now, why this matters for the pharmacy and pharmaceutical industry? So here, like as we know that, like one of the toughest part in the drug discovery process is, as we know that, is the majorly there is a lot of time is involved here, and a lot of risk involved here, and it involves a lot of money for the pharmaceutical industry. So these are the three aspects. Most of the only very few pharma industries taking a challenge of drug discovery process. So here these industries are now looking at the applications of these intelligence tools to make it drug discovery process is a faster one, or to reduce the time, or to reduce the cost, and to reduce the risk also. So even the pharma industry will guess at the trial, clinical trials 1, what is the risk factors we are going to face in the trial 2 and trial 3 for the same molecule. So they can predict the risk and can reduce and can change their routes or change their paths to reduce that what they're going to be the problems to be encountered in the future. So this is how the major pharma industry working to screen the millions of molecules to shortlist the promising drug candidates. Already we are using in the visual screening. Visual screening has some limitations. They are using some algorithms which are available only in the, for example, Schrodinger tool means what the Schrodinger tool understand with algorithms will going to use for the visual screening. But in AI and ML, so these models will understand the dynamic changes or dynamic aspects and kinetic aspects requirements of the molecules, and will come up with the one route of conclusion that so that we can reduce the cost and time and the risk of the drug discovery process. So that is why obviously the pharmaceutical industry may be attracting towards this field. And next one is the personalized medicine. This is also like I myself directly involved in this some of the projects here. Like I spent last from April to June, I spent at the Texas Medical Center, Texas, that is the Baylor College of Medicine, and we worked with MD Anderson Cancer Institute. As we know that MD Anderson Cancer Institute is a world top institute located in Texas. So they are using mathematical modeling or mathematical oncology. It is one of the department. We are using the mathematical principles and the predictions for the fixing the dose, or mathematical oncology to predict the diagnosis process, or mathematical oncology to predict the outcomes of during the process of the outcomes when you're in the process of chemotherapy or radiotherapy. So how the tumor is responding to your drug by using the mathematical modeling, and this will taken care by the AI. So there is an AI model. They will train the AI and will give the diagnostic data before treatment and after treatment, and they will understand that and will give a pattern of how this tumor cell is responding to the drug in a numerical value or in the patterns to understand and fix the dose for further. Because as you know that now the pharmacodynamics, genomics is telling that we don't require the same drug or the same dose may not effective for every patient, or the same medicine or the same dose may not effective for the same cancer in the different patients, different outcomes. So this is why it is the AI involving here, or to understand this, the history of that patient and genetics and his response to the previous treatments. Also will understand there is a case study for the entire the patient with the patient number. So if you give the patient number, we'll get the entire case study, and we'll give assist doctors or the physicians to write the prescription, or the pharmacist to write the prescription as based upon the how we respond to the drug. So next one is the smarter manufacturing that already I was discussing the previous slides. So the manufacturing process is completely going to the automation. Even the how completely means we do not require a single human in the unit. So that is why how it's going on now. So this is a crazy part of the thing. You can monitor the entire process by sitting at your home and by in front of your computer or laptop. You can monitor the entire division of manufacturing unit, how it's happening, and how the process and the validation is going on. Everything is automation and is validation also by the automation. By end of the day, you're getting the report, or every hour you're getting the report. So again, if you change some kind of the reports or the tasks, so they will understanding the task and will refining this and enhancing his capabilities and implementing the capabilities in the next phase. So this is the kind how it's working, the smarter manufacturing. And then the safer medicine, just it is applicable safer medicine to understanding or fixing the personalized dose based upon our genetic information, your pharmacogenomics information, and your previous response to the drug and how you respond previously to the drug, and entire the data is available in your account, in your box, so that the physician will understand and can fix the dose with the personalized from case to case. That's what we are now. It is coming with the pharmacovigilance team. So there are main types of machine learnings, and there is as we know, I think a supervised and unsupervised and reinforced learning process. And from the label data, so where you are giving a lot of data is required inputs paired with the known outputs. So we are completely, the entire process is a supervised one. And then in the other aspects are like unsupervised one, it finds the hidden patterns and groupings in the unlabeled data. So here, it's not as a completely supervised things and labeled data, and it can take, it can autonomously works to get and groupings are unlabeled data. For example, the first one, you can be predicting whether the drug interaction is dangerous using the past labeled cases. It's one of the case study. And another one is clustering the patient with the similar symptoms profiles and drug response patterns. So these patterns will also will be tagged to the clinical trials aspects. So this one will take is a clustering the patients, will make the clusters, the how these groups will are responding to the different doses, and it will create a patterns. And next one is optimizing the dosing schedule step by step, but maximizing the therapeutic effect. So because everyone is looking at the therapeutic effect, is a better therapeutic effect at the lower side effects. So here, it optimizes the dose schedules based upon how you are responding to the particular molecule or particular drug. So here, especially in the pharmaceutical industry, the how it works, like it's the same thing. supervised and unsupervised. Even it is I like to add so deep learning process here in this process. Just like I was mentioning that liquid foundation models where it's addressing the one of the challenge for the deep learning is data. So usually for any model to learn the data or to search to understand the data, we require the major concern or major challenge is hardware. What kind of hardware the machine using, hardware that enables AI enabled hardware. So day by day we are getting even the processor or the even deeper or finest processors especially for the AI applications. So alternatively for the processors, so we can do the neural network kind of thought process. Even this kind of techniques now it is being tested in the automobile industry. Is a competitive with the Tesla vehicles. As you know, the Tesla is now the launching the different vehicles and autonomous vehicles or autonomous drones. They're using large amount of data and lidar systems and radar systems by using combinedly all these data. So these vehicles will run autonomously. But the major challenges is like data and network to get the alternative for these kind of things, and they're coming with the LFMs. So here these LFMs, same LFMs, what they proposed in the automobile industry is going to crack and going to change the entire pharmaceutical industry because it's a very unique and smart models, especially for the complex problems in the pharma industry, especially for the sequencing, gene sequencing and images, and the protein folding and pathway scans. So these are all very complex systems. It contains large quantities of the data. For any model to review this or to access this large quantity of the data is a challenging in the pharma industry. That's why there is a lot of research is going on for alternative for this one, especially in the gene sequencing and the protein folding and pathway scanning and sequencing. So this is data sets. Some of the models here, like collection of the data and train the data, test models. It's called so these are some of the keywords usually in this field of AI and ML, and labeling and to know the outcomes of supervised model, to predict, learns to predict, and training and testing, splitting the data to teach the model, then check the unseen cases, and then algorithms and methods and procedures, models to use learn from the data, and the features like in the scientific, in a pharmaceutical way or health sciences way, the different characteristics of inputs, the variable inputs like the patient age and sex and dose. These are all things. And like the models, what kind of model we are using that turns into the predictions. So here the greater opportunity is here, like collaborative opportunity. There are two kind of, just I was mentioning that I'm going to address pros and cons from our the pharmaceutical industry or the pharmacy domain knowledge. So as we know that we are having the pharmacy domain knowledge. The pharmacy domain knowledge starts from drug design aspects, and we know that formulations, we know how the drugs works, and we know that kinetic and dynamic parameters, and we know how drug development goes, and we know how drug manufacturing works, and how we know clinical trials will go, and regulatory affairs will go, and quality control checks and quality control requirements. So because these are all domain knowledge here, and these are our strengths. And here the best way to work in this area is to collaborate with AI expertise. So rather working with as a and or means taking training or taking expertise in the AI and ML fundamentals is one aspect. And another aspect is as a domain expert from the health sciences or the pharmaceutical sciences, you have the opportunity to work with AI scientist or ML expert, real-time expert. So we have some gaps there. If you look at AI and ML expert, so they have some cons that they do not know what is a drug, they do not know what is enzyme, they do not know what is a drug target, they do not know what is the how drug development process will happen, they do not know what is the manufacturing process, what is actual outcomes, expected outcomes from the each dosage form and its stability, and how these are all some of the gaps in the suppliers or who design the code or who making and testing so these models. But here we got the opportunity to work with collaboratively with AI and ML persons as a domain experts. We do explain and we do work with these guys to run the use cases for their beta versions. For any software version or any AI version, first they release the beta versions to test the use cases. So where they require the domain experts, who are the real-time applications, where domain experts are from the real-time end users. So we are the real-time end users, and we maybe we are all having, most of them are the working as a faculty members, and some of them already having some industrial exposure. But at the big picture, like we know that at least the fundamentals are maybe is how the pharma industry works and what is expectations of the any regulatory agency, so that we can work collaboratively with the AI and ML experts, and we can do guide them based upon our requirements, and we should involve in the training process of AI models based upon our requirements. So this is a greater challenge and a greater opportunity here, rather entering into the real-time programming process or using process. So the best way is to collaborate with AI and ML experts or AI and ML scientists. So this is a one, like I understood, like by interacting with different people, and I am also involving in that line. That's why just I'm sharing my experience and giving suggestion from which is from my experience, because I'm now working with Cliffite as a domain expert, and we are working on the beta versions of the Cliffite, especially for the two cases. One is a regulatory affairs to monitor and to guide, to train the regulatory things. And another one is US FDA development or regulation pathways. So these are the two aspects we are working with. One of the industry, we are working with the LFA models, liquid foundation models. So that's why I'm sharing the same thing to my colleagues, because you're all from the pharma industry. So everyone has its greater opportunity to work with AI and ML scientists or the persons or the expertise. Okay, so this is how it works. Machine learning is data collection and prepare the data, training the model, evaluate, and deploying the monitoring. So here, data collection is automatically. So what is your role as a pharma guy? What is the role in the data collection? So you have to tell that what kind of data actually required, because you know the big picture. So that's why the data means it's large quantity of data, but we don't require large quantity of data. We data which is required based upon the expected outcomes, the end use. So that is what, like you can involve in this process to filter that the collection of the data, and also the preparation of the data also. So that your the role is to filter it, or the role is to work with AI and ML person for the collection and preparation of the data, and also training. So what kind of training and what kind of expecting from the model. So that here also you have to collaborate with AI and ML expertise while feeding the data to the algorithm, so that it learns the patterns. So ultimately, what the AI model is learning. So what based upon our teaching, our learning, our training process only will get the outcome. So because you know that as a pharma person, you know that what is expected outcome at the end user, like you should involve in this process of the training model also, and then evaluation. So this is a very important part of use cases evaluation process of by taking the use case data, giving use case data to the trained model, and evaluating that what are the model is giving the what you expectation, or the model is giving different from that. And if that is the one, like again you have to retrain that model to get the in the evaluation process. You get a lot of opportunity here. And the final thing is the deploy and monitoring. Again, you trained very well model, like very good model for the industry. So who will visit the industry, the pharma industry, who will deploy that model or convince that the company MD. So this is our model, and this is superior than the existing model. Okay, and these are the actually you need to understand the gaps in the industry, pharma industry, and then you need to explain that and deploy that your model. So deploy your use cases, and you make sure that this model should work than the existing model. So in entire from the 1 to 5. So here there is a lot of demand and lot of value addition from the pharmaceutical person, or from the expertise in the pharmaceutical or pharma graduates. So this is how works when you collaboratively work with the ANML team. Okay, this is a drug discovery process and development process, because ANML now is models are using the very fast models now is analyzing the large quantity of the biological data to identify the promising disease targets. And visual screening, this screens lakhs of molecules, even the 10 lakhs molecules with the similar category and the available data. And you can also for the drug repurposing, the pattern recognition finds a new uses for the already approved drugs. We have, because the large quantities of the data which are available in the market, the drugs which are available in the market means there is a large quantity of data available. Starts from its synthesis. So there is a in vitro studies data is available, and preclinical studies data is available, and therefore pharmacodynamics and for kinetics data is available, and the data of their clinical development, entire phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 data is available, and also the data of the post-marketed, the data which is generated during the post-marketed, and the data of their stability patterns also available. So understanding the entire this data, and we'll get the one conclusion or one kind of understanding, so these kind of diseases, to target these kind of targets, so we require the minimum characteristics of the drug in terms of pharmacodynamic aspects, the minimum characteristics of the drugs in terms of the pharmacokinetic aspects, and in terms of the stability patterns, in terms of their physical and chemical characteristics. So these are all important. We'll understand these models, will understand, and will give some clues for the drug the persons who are involved in the drug discovery process and development process. And next is the clinical trials design, and this is one of the predictive models help to select the patient cohort and forecast the trial outcomes. This is very important to reduce the errors and to reduce the time. So these models will work in the process of clinical trials design and process. So here the another element clinical pharmacy and patient care is one is already interacting. There's sharing the dose optimization one. So now this is dose optimization process is going to the next level now by using the patient-specific dosage forms and their genetic data and their previous use cases. It is completely now a feature when you visit to the any clinicians. So you will be given the unique code. If you search with the unique code, all your pharmacodynamics, genomics data is available. So how your body is going to, whether it is your you're resistant to the metformin, or you're sensitive to the metformin. Maybe the metformin is dose available 500 mg. Whether you are sensitive to the 500 mg or resistant to the 500 mg, everything is available, and is to the physicians or to who going to prescribe the medicine to you. And so that based upon this data and genetic data and previous, they will fix a dose and they can optimize. You can avoid unnecessary large quantities and other aspects also. And next one is a diagnostic support and interaction checking. The predictive tools to identify the patient at the risk of skipping the or mismanaging the medications. So this, even the pharmacist and prescribe the physicians will collaboratively work by agents. Now every doctor is giving one agent. The Anthropic is giving, and the agents for the plugin for the especially for the pharmacist, plugin for the especially for the physicians. So we are going to work collaboratively with one of the agent. So the agent will guide us, and the agent will continuously understanding from our workflow and will become the smart works clinical aspects. So this is a manufacturing and affairs. It's a lot of stop and gaps in the quality control, and for inspecting tablets and vials and packaging defects at this very high speed and accuracy can guide. The agent will work with the QC person and will guide in these aspects, and predictive maintenance and supply chain forecasting and the pharmacovigilance aspects. So these agents will work collaboratively in the following. Just a minute. Yeah. So another one is into the pharma value chain, like discovery process. Already we are discussing the discovery process and development process of drug development and manufacturing, and post-marketing process also. It is going to be changed, like the pharmacovigilance and personalized dose real world evidence. So these are all the four aspects of the chain, and every pharma industry now, almost everyone is now it is integrating with these models. So as a pharma guy or the pharma student or graduate, so we should to have the minimum basic concepts, minimum basic applications here, how the industry is now working collaboratively with the AI and ML. So now the foundations, like if you want to involve directly, if you want to expertise in addition to your core domain pharma knowledge, if you want to gain a core domain AI and ML knowledge, so these are the foundation aspects of, like, fundamentally this is a mathematics. The foundation is mathematics. There is no alternative for that. Every model is working with the mathematical, the fundamentals, as we know that, like, and followed by the statistics and the data literacy. So these are the three aspects. So we need to learn and build our foundations or fundamentals to understand what exactly how the code works and algorithm working for the pharmaceutical or the healthcare industry. So these are the things, and the statistics and probability. As you know that these are major concepts of basic linear algebra, data interpretation, bias, and data quality awareness. So these are all foundation and the fundamental aspects. So we need to learn and train these models to get some foundations in the area of AI and ML. So that next one is the foundations required for the programming and practical tools. So not only that, the foundation is a basic concepts for the programming and for the background. So next model is like the part 2, skills to build with in terms of the programming and practical tools. So here the basics, because as you know that everyone knows that entire AI and ML models is majority of them are the Python basics. So here the most widely used language is ML is a Python. So we need to learn and integrate the practical exposure in these languages, and making involving the data libraries and ML libraries and spreadsheets and mindset to cultivate. So the first one is hands-on tools who can calculate the practical exposure on this one. And then before that, the very fundamental and very, very important thing is the mindset. To cultivate the mindset, you should have the curiosity. This is very, very important. If you have curiosity, then only before curiosity, it goes to part one. If you have the fundamentals, then you will get the curiosity, obviously. If you have the curiosity, you will search. If you search or you're digging something, you will get some kind of crazy things. So this is how works the entire system in the scientific and research fields. So here the mindset to cultivate, one is a curiosity for the data, domain grouping and ethic and privacy, because the pharmaceutical industry is completely regulatory industry. So like there's a lot of ethics is required here now. And it's a continuous learning process. These are all the tools, programming and practical tools in terms of hands-on tools, in terms of mindset to cultivate. Okay, so building your learning path is one is a stage one foundation and core ML concepts and pharma applications and project and portfolio. So these are all like opportunities here. And here in every aspect, so you can work collaboratively as a core domain expert, and also you can start working by learning the fundamentals and by learning the practical exposure, and by just changing our mindsets to involve in this process and to work with one of the major industries like who are involving the tech industries involved in the AI and ML. So why this matters, like the pharma challenge? If you look at the market, like the clinical aspects and highly paid jobs, generating one of the industries generating highly paid jobs is like the applications of AI and ML in pharma industry or in the health sciences, because because we are reducing the clinical success rate from phase 1 to approval process by 10%. So 10% is the greater part here now, because they're spending thousands of crores. If the thousands of crores 10% is a matter now. So that's why if you're having some domain knowledge or you can able to work with any AI and ML, understanding their languages, and you can able to communicate your expectations to their language, this is a major gap. So that's why this is a matter, like if those who are aspirating as the high packages and the high rewards or high remunerations from the pharmaceutical industry. And then so this is the like where we can already the industry is now working deployed these models in every phase, from the discovery to the post marketing phase. Almost all 100% of the pharma industry now is using the process from the discovery process to post marketing, from the clinical to preclinical, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and approval process and post marketing process. And then one is ML models is now working for the target identification. The target identification is, I would like to add one thing here. Target identification is not that taking the data which is available in the web server. So the data which is available from the US FDA server, US FDA, just you can, these models, these industries are collaboratively working with regulatory agencies and using their data and training their models. And then natural language processing scans millions of research papers. Like millions of research papers means there is a qualitative and a quantitative research papers. And these models may not understand the complete raw research paper. So they're converting the raw research papers into the machine readable forms and segregating research papers based upon the domains and understanding and making and training the models. So then already it is in the visual screening. Now before that is the visual screening. It may take the 24 hours to 36 hours. Usually takes to even screen your drug or screen your molecules for the targeted protein with the lakhs of molecules, usually 7 to 10 lakhs of the molecules. But now these ML models will go to billions of molecules we can do screen in silico screening before synthesis. This is open even 100 times, more than 100 times is it enhancing its capability when compared to the computer drug design processes. And then generative AI for the molecular design. Now the molecular design is now it's completely redefining the existing models of computer design. These gens and variational and diffusion models are collaboratively working and complementing to the existing knowledge to design the molecules, which are the very specific molecules to reduce the failure risk at the later stages. This is major important to reduce the failure risk at the later stages, because the industry, after spending lakhs of crores of money, the molecule which is shortlisted as a lead at the initial stage, but when compared to when it is going to the phase 1 trials, so they are encountered the different problems within kinetic and dynamic aspects. So they are going to lose the money and time, and also the race. So it's completely, it is in the pharma industry is a race. If you want to bring a molecule in this area, so there's a lot of competition between the industries. They are not only losing the money, but they are also losing the time and opportunity in that area. So that is why like generative AI is giving the even better perspectives and better outcomes in the molecular designing aspects. So here, this one is a drug discovery process. These models are like, because AlphaFold protein structure predictions, why I'm quoting this AlphaFold protein structure prediction? Because this is a very complex data. So that very protein alpha folding, or it contains millions of atoms, and even like millions of amino acid sequencing, and then there is millions of individual atoms. In that there is thousands of active sites. So here the prediction and understanding this data is the biggest challenge here. So it deep minds the AlphaFold's prediction and the protein's 3D structure directly from its amino acid sequence with a near experimental accuracy. So for this, we require the very advanced AI chips, semiconductor materials. So this is the biggest challenge here, and they are the very expensive things. So here, by working with replacing the liquid foundation models with LLMs, existing models, so it can reduce that the data constraints, understanding the entire data constraints, because the data is in the compressed form. So this is what like the discovery process is now cracking, the opening these folds for the protein structure predictions that is actually used further for the exact discovery process of the structural drug design and discovery of any drug molecule for the structure. So an AI discovery for the reaching the clinical aspects in silico medicine, and also the use of generative AI models and design the generative AI candidates for the oncology and immunology and the processing through the clinical trials, and applies the deep learning based structures predictive screen candidates against the thousands of disease targets. So it is like understanding the atom wise and predicting these core atoms, these 3 or 4 core atoms becomes the core active site of that particular enzyme or the protein, and applies the deep learning basic structure predictions and how these distance between the active sites and what is the molecule size of what you designed, and how these molecules fits, and how many molecules is going to fit, and how much time this molecule can engage with that active site, after association with the active site, how much time is take, can stay with the active site and change folding or the conformational changes in the target protein. So these are all will predict. These models will predict and will give some kind of clues for the what we can expect in the clinical trials. And also the most important and fundamentally one of added advantage is fundamental pharmaco, in addition to the dynamic aspects, pharmacokinetic aspects and toxicity, absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion, toxicity. So these models are giving a deeper understanding and add an advantage addition for the in addition to the dynamic models. So this is the major because it involves a large quantity of the data. Okay, and understanding these data and models, real-time data is available from the clinical trials aspects. So these molecules are understanding what is predicting the ADMEs and toxicities, so that the industry will understand. So these ADME challenges we are going to face once the molecule is doing very well, dynamic aspects, but kinetic aspects, these are we are going to face. So that the will take some preventive steps to tackle this one is very early cases before spending a large quantity of the money and time. So next one is clinical trials design and optimizing the clinical trials design, and to reduce the time and also the risks in this process. Also, the very designing that very well designing of the protocols, information by predictive analytics, and cut down and avoidable protocol amendments and dramatically. So these are all kind of deploying the optimization process of at the design aspects only, clinical trial design aspects. And patient recruitment and site selection. So this we're going to work with the electronic health records to match the eligible patient against the complex trial criteria. So these models will understand what is actual requirements, and this will works when the starting for the recruitment of the patients to, and otherwise it will affects the again and again understanding and changing that the patient groups based upon the requirements. And digital twins and synthetic control arms. So here, this is one of the thing: fewer patients exposure to placebo, and faster trials and ethically stronger study designs. So these are all these aspects of these models to evaluate, and synthetic control arms and models reduce the number of patients needed for the placebo group, and the way recruiting enough patients for the traditional control arm is because it's very, very difficult to control in the further steps during the process of the development. So here, this is one of the use cases and case studies of existing and approved drugs, understanding the existing approved drugs, kinetic and dynamic aspects, and the structure and its activity, entire all the clinical aspects, and then repurposing AI similarity, knowledge models, find the new disease matches. So this is the one area, is one of the major applications. Now it is testing for the and using is one of the major applications. Next one is the process optimization and predictive maintenance. And these ML models continuously analyze sensor data from the bioreactors and the production lines, optimizing the yields and consistency. So this is in the manufacturing process, you can understand temperature, pH, the pressure, and it will real-time guide that machines, and also the observer, the who are controlling the system, and ultimately we won't lose the time and won't lose the batch, and won't lose the entire quality of that batch. by the process optimization and predictive maintenance at the very low cost and very accurate one. And next is computer vision and quality control. So these are the deep learning vision models. In fact, the tablets and capsules and vials to defects us very at high speeds, because human eye cannot catch at the high speeds but defects of vials or defects of things. But the computer vision and high resolution image processing cameras can control and can monitor these things and can avoid the packaging errors and production line errors, or maybe it can also reduce the recalls and ensure the regulatory compliances and protects the patient safety. So these are all some of the applications, supply chain and demand forecasting. And so this is one of the aspect. These models will understand what is the demand and what is the orders in the pipeline now and the worldwide. So what is the now how much we can deploy like by end of this week, and can we reaching these expectations of demands. So these are all understand. We'll plan and monitor and will give the guidelines for the entire unit or entire team for the actionable items to take to avoid the or to reach the demands. And so these models are also will scan the social media and call centers transits clinical notes to detect that it's a continuous process. Like it's already we are trained the model, but these trained models are continuously updating with the what's happening in the real-time world, and what kind of transcripts are we are getting from that, and what kind of things which are updated in the clinical notes, and priorities and detection algorithms and serious side effects across the millions of real-world patient records. Those are all will understand. Will get that abstract, prepare the abstracts, and will give give some clues or some guidance or some kind of help as an agent. And already this is we discussed the personalized medicine and patient dosing, and so this is all about is going to be work in the post marketing. So this is all about these things are the very the fundamental enhancing very rapidly. And then across the pharma chain, realize literature mining, regulatory documentation, medical chart books, and clinical load analysis. So these are all the applications across the pharma value chain, where because we need to like take a call and where you will fit into that particular field of other platforms in the pharmaceutical fields. And pharma companies, like just I mentioned, some of the biggest pharma companies, they have their own models. But here, everyone is involving this process. Everyone, a small company is also integrating with these companies. And big pharma guys like the Pfizer, Novartis, AstraZeneca, and Merck, they are already deployed their own models. And they have their own R&Ds, and they have their own domain experts working with the AI and ML scientists to develop their own models based upon their requirements. And AI native biotechs like in silico medicine and isomorphy labs and AI at the core and drug design, these are all native biotechs. And as you know, the tech giants like Google, DeepMind, and NVIDIA and AMD, they are giving their chips, AI chips, especially for the pharma industry, and the computer and cloud platforms they are creating, and they're building large quantity of the data centers now, and they're making some kind of these are the two tech companies like Google and Microsoft constructing large quantities of and even IBM making data centers in the worldwide. And NVIDIA and AMD they are the focusing on chip design and semiconductors design, and based upon the requirements and applications. So this is the timelines and the cost opportunity. So that is why these are the industries are now still creating the opportunities. And challenges and limitations, these are already I discussed. Data quality and bias, and the regulatory uncertainty, validation process, and interpredictability. Like, these are all some of the challenges and the limitations. So we need to work on these challenges, and we need to work what is the pros and cons now, and what is the opportunities, and what is the limitations. And from there, our side, in India, what is the current situation, and various startups working in this area, and where we can collaborate with these startups to address or to enable the applications in the pharmaceutical industry. So this is a regulatory landscape. US FDA has issued guidelines. I made this entire presentation is from one of the article from the Nature, which is it is published based upon the US issued guidelines and AI and ML. So I have taken the data, March pointed the data from the that article, and US FDA is keep on updating and changing their expectations from the entire regulatory landscape. That is what is the role of AI and ML, and what to take up and what not to take up. Like, everything is there. You can update. You can update it from the these kind of articles. So what to do and what not to do in this area, and what is the limitations in this area, and that is continuously and regularly publishing by the US FDA. And these are the core pathways: biologist, computational biologist, data engineer, and bioinformatics, and the regulatory and AI compliance. So these are the areas you can do work collaboratively, or you can build your skills from the starts from Python and statistics. Career opportunities, you can create the career opportunities in clinical data analyst, and AI-driven drug discovery process, health tech, regulatory and vigilance, and pharmacoinformatics, data survey. So just these are some of the key points. And as my opinion, like that, it's a better at this juncture, like better to work collaboratively with the AI and ML scientists and domain knowledge expertise. Okay, just you need to find out right collaboration in this area. The right collaboration, majorly, you can find out some startups who are working in this area, and you can do collaborate and on these areas. Okay, and so that, like, if you have the confidence and passion, and your mindset is ready to do that, you can start working with some strong fundamentals. And these are the major key takeaways, because one thing is pretty sure that there is no alternative. So everyone should use AI. That is one. There is a two kind of people who knows how to use AI, and other kind of people who knows how to use effectively AI. These are the two kind of people. So everyone should use AI, even those who are not educated also. Everyone is using AI, so there is no alternative. So first, as a faculty members, we need to learn the basic concepts, and then we should be in the position to train or to create the awareness among the students, because for the students to get the opportunity, or for the students to get the better opportunities at the high packages. So these are all the domain knowledge and the fundamental aspects are required to get excel in this area. So just excite, like, entire you can get a article. So it is a Nature Reviews Drug Discovery 2026. So that is published by a FDA AI and ML guidelines documents. So whatever I have taken, this is all ratified by the US FDA AI and ML guidelines, because these are regulatory industry. Pharma industry is a regulatory industry, because it's not possible to use AI as you wish. So this is some pros. These are some guidelines and some things with the monitorings. So that's why you can follow the AI and ML guidelines regularly publishing by US FDA. So I have taken the inputs from that article, which is published in Nature Reviews, Drug Discovery 2026 US FDA. So once again, thank you everyone and giving the opportunity. If you have any kind of thing, just can write to me through email for any connection to work with any kind of startups, so that I can share my experiences, how I am able to work, because I do not have any domain expertise from the AI and ML, but still I'm working as a AI and ML means it is the fundamental domains on the code writing or the algorithms. But I'm working with my collaborator as a domain expert. So I'm writing my expectations to collect the data or to train the model or to run the beta version of these models and to evaluate these versions and to convince the end user, and how our model is going to be edge when compared to the existing models in the market. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you, sir. Excellent session we had it now. Very useful session. Covered a lot about AI and ML.
Yeah. Sure, madam, anyone so what?
One question is there, sir, that Udayavir Sara, she's asking for please repeat the article in Nature with the year and month.
Sure. I will. Yeah. You can go to the drug discovery reviews and search AI and ML. You will get the article. Not only that one, there are so many.
Okay.
Because
so many of the institutions are planning to implement all these technologies nowadays because of the updated BPharm curriculum. So what are the training programs, as you already said, but any which we can afford? Some institutions may not afford all these AI programs and all that. So any affordable programs are available so that faculty can be trained, as well as we need to train the students according to the curriculum in order to bridge the gap.
The best way is
one more important thing I want to add. See, any courses by the government of India, like Swayam or MOOCs courses for the AI for the pharmacy faculty, not for the students. Faculty students the next only. Anything like MOOCs or Swayam or NPTEL courses for the faculty to learn the basics of all these things.
Yeah.
Basically,
so already
advances also can learn. If anything is there, just quote it here so that it will be useful for all the faculty also, all over the all participants.
Yeah. So one thing, madam, just this is like NPTEL or Swayam. These are all handled by IITs of Indian IITs and NITs.
Okay.
So even you can go to the top 10 QS ranking institutions like Caltech or MIT, Harvard, or Princeton University. They are the top. If you go to for example, you name it like Anthropic, where the Anthropic came, Cursor, where the Cursor is coming. So the IITs these are all beyond 200 QS ranking institutions. They are also very good. But what I am telling, just if you want to get the latest quantity of the data and what's happening in this area, just directly go to the MIT platform, MIT website, MIT Boston website, MIT, and go to enter into their robotics lab or their AI and ML lab. What's happening, you see. Or otherwise, you can see the MIT startups. For example, Liquid AI. Enter into the site Liquid AI, what they are doing, how the Liquid AI is working with Pfizer, how the Liquid AI is working with Novartis, what kind of platforms they are working. So here, to train the students, like you can ask any engineering faculty to train from your engineering, because your lot of engineering colleges and very good faculty are available. You can give the training. That is one aspect. So other aspect is as a pharmaceutical guy, so we should train how to work with as a domain expert. So actually engineering guys, they know what is the coding and algorithms, they have very good knowledge. And they do not know what is tablet, what is a syrup, and what is a stability, and what is a USFDA, what is a regulatory. They do not know any keywords, and what actually expectation from our side. So we should work collaboratively with them, and this is my expectation. You have to train your model, and the model should give the outcome. This is the one outcome I want. So that is the actual the gap. Is a lot of gap is now you can find out there are so many startups. Just you can go to the even for the like Raidurgam T Hub. There are so many startups. They're coming and sitting there. You can send your students to T Hub, so they can work interact with some of the startups from IITs and NITs and CSL laboratories. You can do. I am pharmacy guy, so I know this one. You know that one. Just let us work with that as a project, real-time project. So they will interact with you, and just you will understand what's happening is a big picture, not by taking one part of it. So this is like what I understood. Like there is a real-time gap because I worked last 3 months at Texas Medical Center and MIT also. Just I'm comparing what's happening there and what's happening here. So just what we are taking as a lecture or a training program as a training only. So what they are doing, they are involving in the one of the real-time project, real-time hands-on project with the team. The team contains doctor, team contains a pharmacist, team contains a person from the industry, team contains a AI scientist, and team contains ML scientist. They're all engineers, and also team contains one of the person who is having the experience in semiconductors and chips. So these are all interacting. So what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Like this is my expectation. This is my expectation. So that the person will understand the entire big picture. What's happening? So what Pfizer looks like, what Pfizer wants, what Novartis wants, what Dr. Reddy's wants, at the big picture. They want finally application. What is the outcome? So, but when you will get the curiosity, if you understand the big picture, you will get the curiosity.
Yes.
So this is not for exams, or this is not for any kind of certificate or something. If you understand the big picture, we are very good students. We have very good, excellent extraordinary faculty we have. But the major thing is we are missing big picture. What is actually the thing? We are having so many keywords, but the only thing is on the top of it, we have to see on the top of it. That to understand this one, just you send your students to T Hub. There are so many programs are going.
One thing I want to say that already our college having an MOU with the one company like BK IT Solutions. Last 3 months, they are training our students every day about 2 hours, 90 hours program. So all the students are trained, this first year students. Before the PCI implements this syllabus, we got the syllabus last year, a draft syllabus we got. So we have modified, we have added some more essence into that, and all the first year students are trained with that. And even we have this MOU with the Cisco company also. So they also are going to give the training for about some 12 days, each day about some 2 hours. So the process going on. So we are trying
so
our
then one opportunities are here. You can create a real-time small project. Real-time project involve one faculty, one first year, two students, one senior faculty, one junior faculty, one industry guy.
Even this 90 days, 90 hours workshop, our students, they made number of projects, number of apps they developed, projects they developed. Excellently, they are presented recently also. So now they are attending examinations, of course. But excellent work is going on in our college.
But they are getting a lot of job opportunities, highly paid opportunities will get if you really understood the big thing.
Yes.
Especially for the pharmacy, we'll get the better packages than engineering guys in this area, I guess.
Particularly if you equip properly. If you equip with all this information.
Yes. So only thing is we need to just reach their expectations, what their expectations of the industry.
Yes.
And we can also use alumni who are working in this area, because Malareddy group, there is a large one of alumni.
Students are time to time they're coming to our college and they're sharing experiences, their knowledge they are sharing time to time. It's excellent. A very good alumni we have it.
Yes. It's the order of the day. Everyone should, even irrespective of from the guys of 15 years to 75 years, everyone should learn and everyone should experience it and use this one. There is no alternative. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Prasad.
Sir, can I have one more question, sir? So this generative AI, sir, sometimes they will be giving very complicated mathematic models and all that. So it will be
Yeah.
very difficult to synthesize the compounds in the chemistry lab by directly taking all these things. So how we can filter and how we can analyze that, how the drug will be coming properly. So it takes some time for us.
So one thing, just we have special plugins from even from the Anthropic, like we have plugins for the, there's a like subscription plugins for the models. Okay. So for example, what my experience is what we do for drug design process, we do collect the literature from the articles. We do collect the literature from the patents, but we never get the data from the clinical trials results.
Yes, sir.
So as a drug design, as a computer or a synthetic chemist or drug design medicinal chemist, you need to understand the literature, you need to understand the patents, and about this one, just you need to follow that clinical trials results. There are thousands of molecules are withdrawn from the clinical trials. Very few molecules are entered into the market.
Yes,
So
sir.
most of them are at the third stage. Third stage, they are withdrawn from the clinical trials because of some adverse effects. So they are reaching third stage means there is a very good molecule. But we are neglecting that structure, that molecules. Like so, there is a large quantity of data. Now these AI models are considering that data and giving predictive models. So actually, this data is not available previously for the Schrodinger and all. So because of the data and all. So now we can do, we have it's open now. We can individually access the data and predict or train our model or utilize this application.
Okay. So how we can reach them, sir? Any applications are available to see all this clinical trials?
So you can access the clinical trials outcomes. You have articles as a publications,
Okay.
clinical
Okay.
trials aspects. If you search the keyword design and synthesis so and so, you will take you to the different articles.
Yes.
So if you go to clinical trials outcomes, the same molecule, you will get the different articles and published by the agencies.
Software also in association with the NVIDIA company. Even he's earned about 1 lakh credits, 1 lakh credits from the NVIDIA company, BioDAC5. So they're working very hard. He's going to present the session tomorrow morning. His speech is better.
Yeah.
Please, all of you listen it. It will be very useful. All the participants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
Okay, so thank you so much, sir, for your valuable and insightful information on AI and ML platform in pharmacy. So your presentation was really very informative and very inspiring, and it is truly appreciated for your time and your acceptance from my side of from my side of call. So thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So I request the participants to please rejoin the session at 2 p.m.